there, almost homeowner. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we're going to talk about finding a lender. A great lender is almost as important as the real estate agent that you use for buying your home. A lender is a representative for a bank or a financial institution that can lend you money for a mortgage. Each lender will have different terms, different requirements, and different options. That is why it is important for you to shop around and interview at least 3 lenders. So the more lenders you talk with, the more options you get to pick from. Ultimately, it boils down to 3 things that you want to shop around for when you're talking to each one of these lenders. Number 1, the interest rate. Number 2, the terms. Number 3, the monthly payments. For the interest rate, obviously the lower the better. And we've been experiencing an all-time low on interest rates as of recently. I think just recently it started going back up and now it's above 3% again. But again, it's still all-time low compared to years before. And it still is a very great time to buy a home. One thing you'll need to note about the interest rate, is it a fixed rate or is it a ARM, which is an adjustable rate mortgage? You also want to know if the lender will lock that rate for you for a certain amount of time, and if you will have to pay for them to lock that rate in. It's also a great idea to ask the lender how they arrived at their interest rate, because that could give you some leverage when you're talking to a different lender, another lender. When you're shopping around, you can say, oh, this person quoted me this, so, are you able to match that? There's certain things that that will be beneficial to you when you're shopping around. So for the term, the second item is a term. For the term, you'll want to know how long you'll be paying the mortgage for. Is it a 10-year mortgage loan? Is it 15? Is it 30? Ask them that information. You also want to ask them to give you an estimate of closing costs for each one of the loans. So if you have, say, a 15-year and a 30-year, ask them to give you an estimate for each as far as what the closing costs would be, so you can also compare that way. For the monthly payments, you'll want to know what the estimated monthly payment is and what all goes into that payment, and what the amount is for each one of those things that make up the payments. Pretty much, we use the term they use is PITI. So monthly payments are typically made of PITI. You have your principal, you have your interest, you have your taxes, you have your homeowner's insurance. That's 4 different things right there. And then you add a 5th one if you happen to buy a home in an area that has a homeowners association fee. So if there's an HOA fee, you add that as well to your monthly payment. Add all those things together, and those will add up to your monthly payment. Again, the lender can break all that down to you and tell you what amount goes for each item. And you'll also want to find out if you have to pay PMI, that's private mortgage insurance. If you pay less than 20% down, you will have to pay a PMI to 20% as far as the loan goes. Then that falls off. You no longer have to pay it. For a conventional loan, if you have an FHA loan, you pay the PMI for the life of the loan. Clarification or get information from your lender on whether or not the PMI is required. The deal that you get from a lender is flexible, just like any other deal. Kind of like when you're buying a car, a lender can change any aspect of the loan. So it's a good, when in doubt, it's always a good idea to ask. You never know what can be negotiated or bargained for. Again, that's why it's always a good idea to shop around too. So if you like something from lender A and you also see something favorable in lender B, but lender A maybe has a better interest rate, you can go to lender B and say, hey, lender A is offering me XYZ. Sorry for all these letters, but basically you can, kind of like we do when we were with the cable companies, when we had AT&T and Comcast or Xfinity, we would say, hey, you guys went up on my rate and AT&T is offering to give it to me for $30. So are you going to match what AT&T is offering me, or am I going to say bye-bye to you, Xfinity? And if they don't play ball, then you go, you go where you want to. In most cases, they're going to say, okay, I'll match. And then therefore you get to stay with Xfinity, maybe because they have another package. They have a package or something else that you really like, and AT&T doesn't offer it. So you get the best of both worlds. You get to have a lower payment for your Xfinity bill, and you get to keep the package that you love. So it kind of works the same way when it comes to lenders. It's always a good idea to ask if you have a doubt and negotiate, bargain. If you go to your guide on page 21, there are a list of questions that I suggest that you ask the lenders. And then on the following page, page 22, there is a questionnaire there that you can print out and actually take notes. So when you're talking to each lender, you'll have the notes and be able to compare. So again, look at your guide on pages 21 and 22. All right, soon to be homeowner. That is it for now. Hopefully I've answered a lot of questions that you may have had regarding the lenders or finding a lender. So if there's anything that I missed or you still have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below, send me a text, shoot me an email, do something. Don't just stay there. Again, no question is too simple or too silly. I am here to help you get on your path home. So hit me up, okay? See you next week. Bye.